Hey guys, it's Cosette here. As requested, I'll be doing a narrated video on my process for drawing. Hopefully this will help those who are wondering how I do some of the things I do when I draw. Today, I'll be drawing Robin from Fire Emblem. So to start things off, I'll doodle like a circle, and I want to figure out where I'm going to put that nose, so I put a few guidelines there, which I erase pretty soon after. After I've got the nose placed down, I will usually go ahead and draw some fringe in front of it and some eyes. It's probably better to draw the eyes first before you do the hair on top of it, just so then you don't have to kind of guess where the eye starts and ends. Yeah, I kind of did it backwards here, but no matter, you're going to do better. You're going to do way better. Okay, so when I draw eyes, I'll start with the top lid. I usually make it really dark because I like a lot of eyelashes on the top there. And then I'll also draw the bottom lids with the eyelashes. For drawing the jaw, I tend to, by habit, draw it too skinny. So I'm trying to fix that. So it's okay. Just erase things and redo it until it looks better. So once I've got the face down, I'll start drawing the ear and one ear, two ears, and then the back of the head. You want to be careful not to draw the back of the head too close to the front of the face. That makes the illusion that the head's really squashed, like, yeah. Anyway, so continuing on, I finished drawing the rest of the line art. I don't really know what I'm doing. I BS the hand there. You guys are smart cookies, so you know what I mean. Okay, so once you've got your line art down, you want to make sure you've filled in all the gaps in the line art. So you can use Magic Wand tool, select all the spaces. I use the key Alt and left click with the mouse, and then I'll invert that selection and fill it with a color. I do that with all my drawings, basically. Just have one layer for coloring, unless it's something really complicated. If it's a doodle, like, for fun, I'll just color on one layer. Anyway, so now I'm doing the skin color here. I usually will just add a little bit of gradation along the edges, like, for example, along the jawline and the nose, just so it doesn't look so flat. I also darken the areas around the eye, where the eyelids are, and then I blend it out, just so it has a little bit of contrast there. Yeah. And I also like to color my line art. So how I do that is I click preserve opacity on the line layer, and then I'll use a brush and darken certain areas, lighten the rest. Yeah, you just do what looks good to yourself, right? Yeah, just color flat colors. I don't really care about shading too much at this point. Now I decide to put in a quick background, so it's kind of like some columns, and then I added light on another layer and use the airbrush to make it glow a little bit. On the screen I've written some of my explanations, so if I don't cover it in my narration, I apologize, but you can look at what I wrote down. I'm not so good at describing what I'm doing. Okay, so sometimes I'll also put overlay, no, not sometimes, all the time. I always put overlay layers over my art. I like to just adjust the tone of the colors and stuff. Yeah, and then I do my shading on its own layer with a multiply layer. Yeah, I tend to go for cool colors like blue or purple. You can also lock transparency on the shading layer and then use the airbrush and add some other tones into it, so it's not all the same colors. Up to you. Yeah, so here I go with the overlay layer, and I just made it all kind of purpley and blue. Yeah, you might want to add lighter colors where the light is hitting, and then darker colors where there's shadow. It's kind of like a lazy way to imply some shading. I decided to change the background color a little bit with color adjustment. Yeah. So yeah, you'll see here that I'm adding with an airbrush a little bit of pink around where the bottom eyelid is and along the lip. Yeah, I just like how that looks. And then you can add some highlighting with a screen layer, and you can use an airbrush or a marker depending on how sharp you want your lines to look. I usually just pick out some areas so it looks more defined, especially in dark shadowy areas. And then I'm adding a bit of magic to the image. I use the airbrush here, normal layers for the base of the magic shape, and then luminosity for the glowy bits. And then I added some highlights with a normal layer this time, just picking out some spaces where I think the light's going to hit from the background. Yeah, you can really have fun with just adding color and light to your images. And even if you don't really understand it too much, you can still have fun with it. Yeah, I try to pick up new things every time I draw, but sometimes that doesn't happen. Anyway, so here I'm adding the mark of Grima just to show why Robin looks kind of evil. Yeah, I explained on the screen how I did all that. Yeah, there's the final image. So I'm looking at my subscriber count. It's almost at 7,000. Very exciting. So I'm hoping to do an art giveaway, and I'll put up a new video on that soon. So yeah, thanks for watching.